Okay, so this is the Year 11 lesson on simultaneous equations. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through a recap of what we know about simultaneous equations, and then you guys are going to do a bunch of work for yourselves. So the key thing for simultaneous equations is getting the second letter the same. So we're going to concentrate on getting the y's the same. Even if the x's are the same already, always concentrate on getting the y's the same. So we've got two equations here, we've got number 1, number 2. What we want to do is get the y's the same. So at the moment we've got 2y and we've got 1y for this one. If I double the second one, so if I double this one here, I'm going to get 2y. So if we write both of them out, that's going to be 3x plus 2y equals 16. And if we double the bottom one there, we're going to get 4x plus 2y equals 18. And now what we've got is we've got two equations where both of them have got 2y. Now the key thing to remember is that if it's 2y, if they're both positive 2y, then you're going to need to subtract the bigger equation, so the smaller equation from the bigger equation. So we're going to need to do this one, take away this one. Oh, take away that one. So we're going to do 4x take away 3x, leaving you with 1x. 2y take away 2y just disappears. 18 take away 16 is 2. So we end up getting our x value as 2. Once you've got your x value, you need to substitute that into one of the original equations. So if we substitute it into this one here, this is the smallest one, instead of writing 2x, or if we write 2x plus y equals 9, we know that x is 2. So instead of writing 2x's, we can write that as 4. So 4 plus y equals 9, so y equals 5. Okay, if we have a look at the next one, if we treble the bottom one, we're going to end up with 3y. So the top one is just 4x plus 3y equals 16, but we've got to times the bottom one here by 3. So that means this times 3, this times 3, and this times 3. That'll give us 15x minus 3y equals 3. Now the key thing to remember is that here we've now got a plus 3y and a minus 3y. So we need to add the two equations together. So 15x plus 4x is 19x. We've got 3 plus 16 is 19. So x equals 1. Now if we've got x as 1, we're going to substitute that back into this here. I'd always substitute it into this one, just because here we'll have to deal with negatives if you substitute it into that one. So substitute it into the top ones, and we've got 4x plus 3y equals 16. Now if we know that x is 1, 4 lots of that is going to be 4. So 4 lots of 1 is 4, so 4 plus 3y equals 16. Then take away 4 from both sides, and we've got 3y equals 12. And then y, if we divide by 3, y is going to equal 4. So that's it. We've got x equals 1 and y equals 4. And that's just a recap on how to do simultaneous equations. Now, I've given you 3 worksheets which look like this. So what I'd like to do is start off with question 1. Now question 1 should be relatively straightforward, because most of the time the y's are the same. When the y's aren't the same, here we've got the x's the same. But I want you to ignore the fact that the x's are the same. Always get the second letter the same, so get the y's the same. And the key thing to remember with this is that if, like with this one here, they're both plus 2y, so you're going to need to do the bigger one, take away the smaller one. And here, where you've got the y's the same, but one of them's positive, one of them's negative, you need to add the equations together. So when they're both the same sign, you subtract the equations. When they're both different signs, you add the equations. Even if we go down to this bottom one here, even though they're both negative, you still subtract the equations. So because the sign is the same, they're both minus 5y and minus 5y, we subtract the equations. Okay, what I'd like to do now, please, is go through and do as many of this lesson as possible.